G'day amigos and welcome to the Four Diego's Hot Topic number 30. I'm Rodrigo Rodriguez and with me today is Carlos Alberto Diego and Warren Diego. Now the hot topic today, guys, is all about the A-League and the player drain that's going on at the moment. Melbourne Heart have lost 4 players. They've lost Brendan Hamill. They've lost also Curtis Good. Yep. We've got possibly Aziz Bayic going, amongst others. And Central Coast Mariners have also lost a number of players. Matt Ryan's trialling at Tottenham and Alex Wilkinson is off to the K-League as well. So, hey, the player drain, the question is, will it kill the A-League?
I'm worried, guys. I am really worried about the fact that for the first time, I know we've always lost players. I mean, people will argue this point that we're a selling league or a development league developing for elsewhere. And people will say that, oh, it's good for the Socceroos because they're going off and becoming better players. But I don't think we've ever had a situation where we've lost players at the age and at the stage of development. Ali Babal had 1 full season in the A-League and now gone off to Serbia as a stepping stone elsewhere. The talk of Aziz Bayic. Curtis Good came out of the AIS, spent a year with Melbourne Heart and already down at Newcastle over in the UK. We're either developing players who are super good compared to other years, or we're just moving them on earlier. And we're losing them earlier, and I worry, given that clubs are bleeding, attendances need to improve, we need to get a better TV rights deal, we need more investment in the game. If we're losing our best young players, the exciting types, too early, I just wonder whether we're ever going to dig ourselves out of the hole.
It's not unlike you to be alarmist, Carlos. So I just want to do maths for you, Rodrigo. I'm not a maths person, but 9 teams in the A-League currently, yes?
10 teams.
10 teams, yes. There you go. 30 players in each roster, 300 players. You're talking about 7 or 8 going overseas, without counting the ones that are coming back from overseas to play in the A-League. Come on, this isn't a player drain. At worst, it's a trickle. And I see with change comes opportunity, Carlos. We probably should think about changing this panel with the alarmist nature that you have, but with change comes opportunity. And I don't think that 15 players in a squads of 30 players with 300 players in the A-League, with the ones of the like of Brett Emerton and that who have come back to the competition, I don't think it's a problem at all. The thing that I'm thinking about, Carlos, is where these players are going. A move overseas is a good move overseas if they go to the right clubs and get the right development, not to be stockpiled in some secondary competition or loaned out or to not play games. The likes of Matt Ryan, for instance. Go to Tottenham, son, if you can see a succession plan that makes you the #1 keeper at Tottenham in 3 to 4 years' time. A bit like Mitch Langerak, who will end up being the number one.
He won't, but
Carlos.
This is a myth. It's a myth about going over and spending your time and doing your time in the resis and doing your time in the youth team. Once they start loaning you out, and the talk is Mitch Langerak will be loaned out this season because he needs game time. Once they start loaning you out, that's when you're on this merry-go-round. It's happened to many of our young players who have gone over there. Michael Zulo, have you heard anything about him? Tommy Orr, have you heard anything about him? Nikita Rukavica, if he wasn't playing for the Socceroos, you wouldn't know what was going on with him. Matthew Leckie, by the time we see them again, they'll be 33, 34 years old, and they're going to add nothing back to the A-League when they come back. We can only hope when they go over at a young age, they develop quickly and they can maybe jump into this Socceroos squad. Dario Vidicic has already come back. Why are we letting them go too early? Well, the answer is because of the money. Well, the money is, you get a good transfer fee and the player gets well looked after. But by going to the K-League and to go to the Chinese, the Yamcha League in China, that's not going to make better players.
Are they actually? That's the question, really. Why are these young players so prepared to go? Is it only because of the money? Are they getting much more for playing at some of these clubs?
Well, Graham Arnold said that Alex Wilkinson, who's 27 years old and been Central Coast Mariners, been the stalwart for them, the core, the body and soul of that, the heart and soul of that club for 7 years. Arnie's been quoted as saying that he's setting himself up for life. Jeez. Now, surely the football in the K-League is not so much better than the A-League. So we also got Mark Bresciano talking about career paths for the young people. Not to make the move to Asia too early just because of the money. Do your time, go to some of the bigger leagues and spend time learning the game and then come back better players or play for the Socceroos. Money will come in that way there. Players are going for the money, which is fine. I've got no problem about that, but I'm worried about the league. I'm worried about what's going to happen to the league if it happens too early with players who aren't ready to go but show signs of... Someone like an Aziz Bayic has been fantastic for Melbourne Heart. He's one of the reasons why they might get some some people through the door. Some of the young kids might be interested in the game because of someone like Aziz Beige. Ali Babalji is another one.
If cynicism was a drug, Carlos, you'd be overdosing on it, just very quietly. I get the impression that there are youth teams in every A-League setup now. There's a National Youth League, Carlos. The Aziz Beiges of the world, those type of guys have come from the youth pathway. Now, I'm not saying that we want to turn these guys over for the sake of turning them over, but if our development system is going to improve, and you're saying that we're building from the ground up, and we may have missed that generation of players between the golden generation of the Lucas Neals, Harry Kewells, maybe they're coming through, and maybe this opportunity, by the fact that some guys who may not be quite up to it are going out, the youth setup hopefully is bringing guys through, and we're going to be all the better for it. So I'm positive, not negative, about the future, because I genuinely think that for all the excitement machines that we see that you've talked about, there are some that are there that have been undiscovered, because many have come from...
So you guys are saying, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying, are you saying that we should allow this to happen, not try and keep these players in this country for longer?
I actually, can I answer that? I actually think you need to address it. I actually think, Warren, you're just kind of brushing it aside too quickly here. We have to address why these young players are going, and for the A-League's sake, is that core of younger players, or the players coming in, is that good enough to sustain a commercial, popular product here in this country? Because really, that's where the A-League's at the moment. We talk about falling crowds, improved TV ratings. We haven't got a new TV deal yet. Some clubs are really struggling. In fact, some clubs are owned by the FFA. So we've got to be very, very careful that players like these young guns from Central Coast Mariners and Melbourne Heart stick around for a little bit longer, and make sure that the players coming up are good enough to take their
But also
place.
not at the expense of their career. Like, if you can get a lot more money overseas, of course. If you've got to go to Nepal and get more money, or go to East Timor and get more money, that's fine. But it's not going to help your development as a player. It's not going to help our league. So all I'm saying is we need to improve as a league enough, or the clubs need to improve enough to be able to keep these players here a little bit longer, if we can.
I would say that maybe we need to support them in terms of their decisions and assist them with decisions. Possibly that's the case. But I would say to you that the viability of the A-League, as it is with the rugby league, as it is with the rugby union, with the multinational competition, the success of the competition is really built on the success of the national team. I think that trickles down. That's my opinion. The A-League has to be strong, but while the Socceroos are strong and successful, and ultimately you build the best team, and then the support and the popularity for the game trickles down, and that's how people go to the A-League, because they love going to watch the Socceroos.
No, they don't go to the Socceroos in the A-League. That's the problem.
They will, if the Socceroos continue to be successful.
As you can see, this is a hot topic that will just keep raging and raging. And the proof will be in the pudding when the A-League season starts in 10 weeks' time.
He's just happy to have a bankrupt league and all these individuals going off and the clubs just keeping it as is. Well, if they're going to keep it as is, what's going to happen is that these clubs are going to go broke, and these kids will be jumping straight from youth to try and get over to Asia.
Melbourne Heart, try to keep as is. That's what we're saying.
Well, let him go. That's what I'm saying.
Well, let him keep him for another year. Anyway.
By the way, Melbourne Heart have got these 4 players that they've sold off, which is fine. And they're crediting the development system and all that sort of, giving them a chance. And they've done a wonderful job with these kids. But they're not going to get 4 kids of that calibre every year, every
season. You don't know that, Carlos.
Well, let's just wait and see.
We'll
wait and see whether they'd be able to unearth another 4 kids like this, and within 12 months sell them for $500,000 plus overseas. Good on them if they can, but they'd have the best development system in the world if they did.
Time capsule, hot topic number 30 in 12 months' time, and we'll see where we're at.
You took the words right out of my mouth. We'll see that in a couple of months' time. Well, that's it for hot topic number 30. Until next time,
Olé!